Be born a girl in North Korea is to inherit a life that is largely predetermined. From the first moment of birth, her path is shaped not by personal dreams, but by duty, social expectations, and the strict hierarchy of the state. Sons are often valued more highly, seen as future protectors of the family and carriers of the family name, while daughters are cherished but expected to live under lower expectations. Hunger, labor, and obedience are not just lessons. They are daily realities that mold girls from childhood. Nearly 1 in 5 children in North Korea suffers from chronic malnutrition, and many girls grow up physically stunted and emotionally conditioned to accept scarcity as normal. The state further reinforces these expectations through rigid education and ideological training, teaching girls that their role is to be modest, obedient, and devoted to the family and the country. Even as they learn skills, the promise of equality through socialist ideals is overshadowed by deep-rooted patriarchal norms. Girls are taught that loyalty to the state and obedience to authority come before personal ambition, and from a young age, they begin to internalize a life of labor, hardship, and surveillance. The earliest years of their life are thus spent balancing basic survival with the careful navigation of a society that watches everything that as girls grow into teenagers. Their future seems even more constrained. Most are destined for long hours of physical labor, whether in farms, factories, or construction brigades, while also helping at home with cooking, cleaning, and caring for younger siblings. The home, far from being a sanctuary, becomes an extension of work and duty, reinforcing a cycle of labor that begins in childhood and continues through adulthood. Beyond daily chores, girls must also navigate constant surveillance. Neighbors, teachers, and even family members are encouraged to report disobedience, creating an environment where even small mistakes can have severe consequences for the individual and her family. Silence and compliance become survival strategies. In addition, military service for women, though portrayed in propaganda as a source of pride, often involves harsh conditions, long hours, and minimal reward. Even outside school, work, and military obligations, a young woman's time is rarely her own. From managing households to participating in mandatory local meetings, her life is a delicate balance of survival, obedience, and exhaustion. Despite this relentless routine, a shadow of a hidden system lurks beneath the surface. Across villages, schools, and workplaces, officials quietly take note of those who stand out. Most girls never know they have been watched, yet for a select few, this attention can dramatically change their lives, leading them into paths that few could imagine and from which escape is nearly impossible. One of the most striking challenges women face in North Korea is the economic burden imposed upon them. While men are expected to be the primary earners, their state jobs provide wages so low that survival often depends on women's efforts in informal markets. Women trade food, clothing, and other essentials, sometimes risking punishment from authorities, but their work becomes crucial for family survival. During the famine of the 1990s, informal black markets, known as jangmadong, became lifelines, and women emerged as the main providers. Even as they gained a measure of independence, they remained under constant scrutiny. Officials watch, not just for disobedience, but also for visibility, influence, and resourcefulness. Economic activity may offer temporary security, yet it comes with high risk. A simple misstep can result in fines, harassment, or worse. This paradox highlights a broader truth. Survival and recognition in North Korea are inseparable from both risk and luck. Ordinary women live under severe constraints, while those with even minimal advantage, beauty, family connections, or talent are still tightly controlled. No matter their role, women's lives are shaped by systemic control, leaving little room for personal agency. Social expectations and controls add another layer of pressure. From childhood, women are taught how to dress, behave, and even style their hair, according to the state's vision of an ideal citizen. Clothing must be modest, hairstyles follow approved lists, and any deviation can result in punishment ranging from public shaming to loss of education or employment. Marriage, too, is largely dictated by duty rather than choice. Families weigh political loyalty, social class, and survival when arranging unions, leaving romance secondary to security. Even in workplaces or community meetings, women are constantly observed. Attendance at ideological study sessions, neighborhood assemblies, and political gatherings is mandatory, with notes on participation or dissent sometimes sent to higher authorities. Missing a meeting or failing to demonstrate loyalty can result in severe consequences. The illusion of choice pervades daily life, masking the reality that nearly every significant aspect of a woman's existence is predetermined. Privilege, while it may bring better living conditions, does not bring freedom. Elite women, like ordinary women, remain subject to surveillance, loyalty tests, and strict control. Life in North Korea is thus a careful negotiation between survival, conformity, and the hope of safety. Beneath these layers of control lies one of the most controversial and disturbing aspects of women's lives in North Korea: the alleged Pleasure Battalion. According to defectors and survivors, this secretive system selects young women based on appearance, perceived purity, or talent to serve the elite and the leadership. Girls as young as 14 are reportedly chosen from schools or local contests, and their families face harsh punishment if they refuse. These girls, while provided with better food, clothes, and education, are subjected to exploitation. Tasks range from performing arts to serving the intimate demands of officials. Though described as service to the nation, the reality for these women is one of control, coercion, and loss of agency. Many remain silent after their service, marrying trusted members of the elite or military, ensuring that the secrecy of the system is maintained. The existence of the Pleasure Battalion, whether fully verified or based on defector testimonies, underscores the extreme vulnerability of women and the ways beauty and privilege are manipulated as instruments of state control. It reflects a society in which even advantages such as looks or intelligence can become burdens, exposing the chilling paradox of visibility. Being noticed does not guarantee opportunity, but often introduces new obligations or exploitation. For ordinary women, survival continues to depend on navigating scarcity, labor, and obedience, while for selected few, life takes an even darker turn. North Korean women cannot rely solely on education, resilience, or beauty. Fate and luck govern their opportunities and risks. Even seemingly positive aspects of life, such as being noticed for talent or appearance, can carry severe consequences. Women live in a constant balance between scarcity and visibility, freedom and obligation, survival and exploitation. Marriage, work, and personal choices are all constrained by political, social, and ideological pressures. Those born into elite families may experience better material conditions, yet their lives are orchestrated just as strictly, demonstrating that control in North Korea is pervasive and operates across all levels of society. The system enforces loyalty, monitors behavior, and punishes deviation, leaving women with limited avenues for agency or security. Ultimately, the life of a woman in North Korea is a story of endurance, sacrifice, and systemic control. Scarcity, labor, social restrictions, and fear shape every step, leaving little room for personal choice. The alleged Pleasure Battalion exemplifies the extreme consequences of visibility and state control, illustrating how even privilege does not guarantee freedom. Women navigate a landscape where the personal becomes political, where beauty can lead to exploitation, and where survival is often contingent on luck rather than effort. Their experiences reveal the harsh realities of a society built on obedience and surveillance, and the ways in which the state manipulates every aspect of life, from work and education to marriage and personal appearance. In this world, agency is rare, autonomy is constrained, and dignity is continually challenged. Yet, through resilience, resourcefulness, and quiet endurance, women continue to survive, bearing witness to a system that seeks to shape every facet of their existence. The story of North Korean women, including the whispered existence of the Pleasure Battalion, forces outsiders to confront the limits of freedom, choice, and humanity under extreme authoritarian control. It is a story of hardship interwoven with secrecy, where every step is watched and every opportunity carries hidden risks. Even rumors reveal the stark realities of life inside one of the most secretive nations in the world. While much remains hidden and unverifiable, the patterns of control, exploitation, and surveillance described by defectors provide a chilling picture. Women live under an unrelenting system where survival requires constant vigilance, obedience, and sometimes personal sacrifice. Their lives reflect a society in which control is omnipresent. Privilege can be dangerous, and the human spirit must navigate constraints that few outside can imagine. In the end, the story of North Korean women is not only one of oppression and fear, but also a testament to resilience and the quiet strength. To be born a girl in North Korea is to inherit a life that is largely predetermined, shaped not by dreams or personal choice, but by duty, social hierarchy, and the strict control of the state. From the very first moment of life, the child's future is subtly defined by her family's social standing. Known as songbun, a rigid system that categorizes citizens based on loyalty and background. Sons are often valued more highly because they are expected to carry the family name and serve as protectors of the household, while daughters, although cherished, face lower expectations and limited opportunities. Hunger, labor, and obedience are not mere lessons, they are part of daily life. Chronic malnutrition affects nearly 1 in 5 children, and many girls grow up stunted, physically weak, and conditioned to accept hardship as the norm. The state reinforces these expectations through a strict educational system that prioritizes ideological indoctrination over creativity or personal growth. Girls are taught to be modest, obedient, and devoted not only to their families, but to the nation itself. From a young age, they learn that loyalty to the regime outweighs personal ambition, and that survival depends on both endurance and conformity. Life for a North Korean girl is thus a careful balance between scarcity, obedience, and the constant presence of surveillance. As girls enter adolescence, the rigid structures of society become even more apparent. Most are destined for a life of intense labor, whether in collective farms, factories, or construction brigades. At the same time, they are expected to maintain responsibilities at home, assisting with cooking, cleaning, and caring for younger siblings. The home, far from being a place of respite, becomes another site of duty. Children learn from their mothers that survival is a constant effort, and that the burdens of work, both domestic and public, define the essence of womanhood in North Korea. Alongside labor, girls live under constant surveillance. Neighbors, teachers, and even family members are encouraged to report disobedience, meaning that even small mistakes can carry severe consequences. Silence and compliance become survival strategies, and girls internalize these behaviors from an early age. For some, military service becomes another dimension of hardship. While propaganda glorifies women soldiers as patriotic defenders of the homeland, the reality often involves harsh conditions, long hours, and minimal sustenance. Even outside school, work, and military service, a young woman's time is rarely her own. Mandatory participation in local party meetings and ideological study sessions adds to her responsibilities, leaving little room for rest or personal ambition. Yet, amid these ordinary hardships, a shadowed system operates quietly, taking note of those who stand out for reasons beyond ordinary recognition. Economic necessity adds yet another layer of pressure on women. Although men are expected to be primary earners, their state jobs often pay so little that families cannot survive on these wages alone. Women, therefore, frequently take on the role of breadwinner, engaging in trade, informal markets, and even smuggling to provide for their families. During the famine of the 1990s, these jangmadong, or black markets, became lifelines, with women at the forefront. While their efforts provided crucial resources, they were risky. Officials monitored markets closely, demanded bribes, and punished those who failed to comply. Even as women gained a measure of independence through trade, they remained visible to authorities, and this visibility often brought danger. Every action from managing scarce resources to demonstrating competence in markets was scrutinized. Survival in North Korea is therefore a combination of hard work, ingenuity, and luck. While ordinary women struggle daily to meet basic needs,